The following is a special presentation from 11Alive News. The investigators holding the powerful accountable.
How many more of your constituents have to die before you take 911 modernization seriously?
What's being done to modernize Georgia's 911 system? Absolutely nothing.
Enough is enough. We're in a position to be able to do this. Let's solve this problem.
But thanks to a couple of inventors, help may be on the way.
Did our investigation actually lead to you accelerating this technology?
The investigators holding the powerful accountable.
Hello, I'm Brenda Wood. Our team of investigators goes beyond reporting the headlines of the day by exploring those stories that can affect change. Over the next hour, you're going to see how our investigations are having an impact by holding the powerful accountable. The broken 911 system has claimed another life. A Gordon County man recently drowned in floodwaters while on the line with a dispatcher who couldn't locate his phone. Just a year after a woman died because 911 couldn't find her sinking car in a Cherokee County pond. That was the case that led the 11Alive investigators to uncover a nationwide problem. 911 has trouble locating cell phones about half the time. A year later, victims are still lost on the line. Here's our chief investigator, Brendan Keith.
The subject called 911. He stated that he didn't know where he was at, that his car is in the water and sinking.
He's possibly going to be out of oxygen.
And I was unable to be able to ping his location from our system.
At this point, it ain't good.
I've tried calling him back numerous times, and I'm not able to get him back.
George Treadaway was lost on the line.
This ain't no wild goose chase. That man's in trouble.
Gordon County 911 won't release his call because they say he drowned on the phone with the dispatcher. But the county didn't even send anyone out to search the floodwaters for his sunken car until his family reported George missing nearly 5 hours later.
Gordon County 911.
We're trying to find my daddy-in-law, and he usually takes Reese Station Road, but we know that's flooded. But we can't get him on the phone or nothing. We don't know if he's been involved in a wreck or if y'all know anything about him.
Okay, we've not had any wreck.
Yeah, he's on oxygen, and I know his oxygen tank's got to be near empty.
This is where George Treadaway called 911 from his sinking car. But to the 911 system, George's phone was invisible, and so was he. Dispatchers couldn't see this location on their screens. Instead, they were beginning more than 5 miles away and a 10-minute drive. It was the cell phone tower location. George and his phone briefly showed up here because the tower address is often the first thing a dispatcher sees, and in this case, it was all they had to go on because George and his phone weren't here either. So the 911 dispatcher called the cell phone carrier. The operator there tried to ping George's phone, but it was likely already underwater. The last known location of George's phone was more than 3 miles away from the tower, in the other direction. The cell phone carrier had George's last location here, but this is still more than 3 miles away from where George Treadaway was fighting for his life. Rescuers had 2 addresses to begin searching for a drowning man. Both turned out to be dead wrong.
Did you get the tower hit off of it all? Because I am showing that the device was 3.39 miles from that tower to the southwest.
Showing any water around in that area?
There's no lake or nothing around there. It's just all pine trees.
What did he say when he called in?
He said, I'm stuck in the water.
There was no water on that wooded hill because George called 911 from the flooded valley 3 miles away.
We found out the next day that there had been a 911 call.
But somehow Gordon County dispatchers didn't know one of their own 911 operators had already talked with a drowning George Treadaway hours earlier.
He did tell the dispatcher that the car was filling up with water, and they could hear that on the 911 tape.
I got a bad feeling about this. Something's wrong.
Okay, we'll continue to look for him.
George's body was pulled from his sunken car 2 days after he called 911 for help.
We were very disappointed in in the 911 system.
I'm trying to find you on a map.
You can't find your address? No. What address, ma'am?
Give me the address one more time. It's not working.
The 11Alive investigators discovered cell phone callers are lost on the line by 911 every day.
They received a call from a female that said that she was in the lake and losing air.
A year ago, Chanel Anderson was trapped in her sinking SUV in Cherokee County, but her 911 call got picked up by the wrong call center in Fulton County.
Yeah, we got one vehicle. It looks like it's all the way underwater right now.
They found her too late to save her life.
Your own commission said 911 is broken in Georgia. What are you going to do to fix it?
Well, 911 systems are run by local jurisdictions.
A year ago, we asked the governor about this 911 modernization report he commissioned, a report completed while Chanel Anderson and George Treadaway were both still alive.
Your commission recommended that there be a state agency that oversees 911. Are you in favor of that?
Well, I haven't made a decision on that.
We asked the governor and his staff the same questions about his 911 commission report again and again, 9 separate times via email and in person over 12 months. After a year of no answers and another death, the investigators caught up with Governor Deal at a transportation news conference.
I asked you a year ago, I'll ask you again, have you done anything with your own 911 commission report?
We have put funding into 911 for local communities, but as you know, those are operated by local systems of government.
Well, then why appoint a commission to create a 99-page report and offer 8 different recommendations if you're not going to do anything
about that? You should come to some other venue rather than this one. If you want to ask about what we've talked about here today, I'll be glad to answer your question, but that is not what we're talking about.
People died on the roads.
I understand that, and we are concerned about that, and we're trying to do what we can about it. But you're here
Last question,
asking
Governor.
Questions about nothing that we're talking about today.
How many more of your constituents have to die before you take 911 modernization seriously?
I don't mind answering some of y'all's questions if you want.
Now, after all our questions, the governor is in the process of appointing that committee. The first thing on their agenda, the 911 Modernization Commission's recommendations. But Governor Deal can't fix the nation's 911 system, though 2 inventors say they can.
We believe we could solve the problem of 911 location right now.
Coming up, we put their invention to the test at the precise locations where George Treadaway and Chanel Anderson called for help.
Could you please verify the address on your CAD display?
We live in 2016. 911 is stuck in 1996. Our smartphone knows where we are no matter where we go. Press a button, it takes us home. Press another, a car shows up. We can summon Uber quicker than an ambulance, police car, or fire truck can find us through a cell phone call to 911 because the current system still uses technology developed 20 years ago.
What is the address of your emergency?
I'm in a car in a lake.
Where?
I'm losing air very quickly.
Give me the address one more time. It's not working.
Chanel Anderson was lost on the line. Her 911 call was routed to the wrong call center, and her phone never told dispatchers where to find her sinking car.
Ma'am, I lost her.
Do you believe that this technology would have saved her life had it been in her hands?
Without a doubt. There is no question.
Fred White.
When we call 911 through the cell network, we're ending up in the wrong jurisdiction.
And Michael Self.
Enough is enough. We're in a position to be able to do this. Let's solve this problem.
Are inventors determined to fix 911?
Every 30 seconds that is spent on 911 telling them who you are, where you are, what's going on, and how to get there counts towards that golden hour.
We're parked at the edge of the same pond where Chanel Anderson called 911 to test the existing system.
Okay, here we go.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
This is not an emergency call. This is a field technician test call only. Can you please validate the address on your CAD display? Do you have phase 2 on me yet?
Yes. Well, actually, no.
Okay.
Now it's phase 2.
What's the phase 2 address?
Otis
showing 300 Batesville Road. My CAD is showing 374 Gables Walk.
Both of those are the cell tower.
That's still about a mile away. Is this Alpharetta?
It is. We're in the wrong jurisdiction.
That's exactly what happened to Chanel's 911 call. She was in Cherokee County, but her call hit a tower in Fulton County.
Give me the address one more time. It's not working.
Then the inventors call 911 using the same phone, but with their technology activated. It's called LaaSer, and it uses the phone sensors to determine precise location before routing the call to the correct 911 center.
Cherokee County 911 address for emergency.
This is not an emergency call. This is a technician field test call. Can you please verify the address on your CAD display?
Phone display is showing 1 the Fairway.
It's 1 the Fairway in Woodstock, Georgia?
Showing 1 the Fairway.
That's it. That's where we are.
Using our technology, we were able to call and be located within a few feet of where we are sitting, and we were delivered to the correct 911 jurisdiction for this location.
Did our investigation actually lead to you accelerating this technology?
Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, it did.
Right after this test, another caller was lost on the line.
He stated that he didn't know where he was at, that his car is in the water and sinking.
We're sitting within feet of where George Treadaway unfortunately lost his life while trying to get help through 911 while his car was sinking.
He's going to be out of oxygen.
Nearly a year to the day after Chanel Anderson died in Cherokee County, George Treadaway drowned in Gordon County.
And I was unable to be able to ping his location from our system.
With 911 location data miles off the mark, it took 2 days to find his car on Reeves Station Road.
Gordon County 911.
Can you please tell me the address that is currently showing on your screen?
I'm showing 1975 Reeves Station Road.
Great. And do you have a latitude and longitude?
Yes.
So we've just called 911, and LaaSer has us located on Reeves Station Road, right where we actually are and where we would want emergency services to come find us.
And this could have saved George Treadaway's life.
I believe so, yes.
We offered Gordon County operators an opportunity to see the new technology. 911 Director Debbie Vance, president of Georgia's Dispatcher Association, declined, writing, "The phone carriers have not heard of it, and they feel from the description we have had so far, this is a carrier issue and not a public safety answering point issue. If all carriers are not part of it, I don't see how it will benefit anyone."
There's a side of this that's sad and tragic. There's also a side of it that's just infuriating.
Fred calls Gordon County again, this time deactivating his invention and using the system George Treadaway relied upon.
Can you please tell me the address that is currently showing on your screen?
458 Brown Farm Road.
He gave us, I believe, 458 Brown Farm Road, which is the location of the nearest cell tower to us. By road, it's a little over 5 miles, and it's about a 10-minute drive.
This is the same 1996 technology 911 uses to find all of us when our lives are on the line.
In an emergency situation, a matter of a minute or two can be the difference between life and death.
Brendan Keefe joins me now. Brendan, I understand the developers came up with this technology after seeing your first report. When could it be available?
Yeah, Brenda, it was because of our investigation, and right now it's essentially an app form, but what they don't want to do is sell this as an app that you would have to download, because that would basically create a two-tiered system. People with the app would get better 911 than people without it. What they're trying to do is get this baked into everyone's phone. So right now they're trying to sell their technology to the cell phone carriers directly, but they really don't care about making money as much as they do about saving as many lives as possible.
Right.
The short answer is we're going to have to wait and see, but hopefully it's going to be sooner than later.
Now, bottom line, we're getting some positive change out of all of this.
Yeah, it's a solution that's available today. We just have to get it on your phone.
All right, fantastic. We're getting closer. Brendan, thank you. Our investigators special will continue in a moment.